Right, welcome everybody. My name is Megan Twentyman. I'm the brand manager for WatchGuard here at Soft Solutions. On the line with me today is Matt C, who is WatchGuard's Manager of Sales Engineering for APAC. Matt's based over in Sydney, and he'll be helping me with this presentation today. Also on the line today is Kurt Brandon, who is the New Zealand Territory Sales Manager, and he's going to jump in towards the end with our Q&A section. So thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. The purpose of today's webinar is to have a quick look at WatchGuard and the 4 key categories that they represent. So today we'll be running through who WatchGuard is, the WatchGuard One Partner Program, the 4 key product sets, along with an overview of the technical enablement and sales engineering resources that are available, what the next steps are, and we'll wrap up with a Q&A at the end. If you have questions throughout, please feel free to pop those through. However, we won't be answering the questions until we get to the end of the presentation. And as again, thank you. We really appreciate your time. So who is WatchGuard? WatchGuard have been around for over 20 years with cutting-edge cybersecurity technology. It's easy to deploy, easy to manage solutions, and WatchGuard is enabling over 80,000 small to mid-sized businesses around the globe. They're headquartered out of Seattle, have 1,000+ employees, and as I mentioned earlier, we even have a WatchGuard employee in Kurt here, based in New Zealand, and Kurt travels up and down the country, enabling partners and assisting them. What are their brands? It's a complete product portfolio of unified security. 4 key categories with their network security, from tabletops through to rack mount fireboxes, secure Wi-Fi, MFA or multi-factor authentication, and Endpoint, with Panda joining the product family just very recently. WatchGuard delivers a complete ecosystem of solutions. You can see with this overview some of the key components that make up your security for your customers. So they cover everything with their 4 specialties of network security, Wi-Fi, endpoint, and MFA. Once your technical team and yourselves know the solutions, it becomes very simple because the interfaces are very, very similar. So what is WatchGuard One? This is WatchGuard's partner program, and WatchGuard believe in a true partnership. You invest in WatchGuard and WatchGuard invests back in you. Within their portal, which you get a login to, you can find resources, education, training, financial incentives, technical support, communications, etc. What does WatchGuard ask from you in return? So within the 4 specialisations, you can do training in 1 or all 4. What they request of you is that you complete a sales certification, a technical certification, and have an NFR for internal usage. For doing this, they reward you. So they are rewarding that technical competency that your team are getting. For the silver partnership, you get some additional margin of an extra 5% for having 1 sales certified person, 1 technical certified person, and an NFR within 1 specialty. Take that to 2 people and you move to gold certification, which gives you an extra 10% margin. So you are rewarded for investing time. There are no sales targets. What WatchGuard believes is if they can enable you and your team to get up and running, they will be able to help you focus on what your customers need. And then it's a win-win for both organisations. One thing there is that 1 person can complete a sales and technical certification, so that's not a problem either, or you can have multiple people do that. Training materials are in the portal and they are free. They run a network security training each quarter, and there's masterclasses and bits and pieces as well that we'll talk about later in the presentation. So moving into the first of our big 4, the network security. What does WatchGuard deliver? It delivers comprehensive advanced network security platform. They are focused on protecting all the different layers that you need in your security offering. Everything is easily managed from WatchGuard Cloud, and once your team understand WatchGuard Cloud, it's very simple to use. They let you choose your security offering that is appropriate for your customer, and then they help you to keep current with renewals, which keeps your revenue from that customer there as well. WatchGuard knows security, and that's what they deliver. So I'm going to ask Matt to jump in now and talk to the security offerings that are available from WatchGuard with their Fireboxes.
Thank you, Megan. Across the firewall range, we've got everything from SD-WAN, which is a very critical function these days. It's pretty much an essential capability. So a firewall is a router, and with SD-WAN, we can manage multiple WAN links, but we can also provide SD-WAN capabilities across VPNs, internal networks, as well as the external network. So a very capable firewall. As well as that, we have SSL inspection, which is really important today about being able to decrypt those sessions. A lot of the malware is being hidden behind HTTPS connections. So unless you can decrypt that, you're certainly not going to be able to stop those threats getting through. As well as that, we have automation. So the firewall today features APIs, and we're developing more APIs throughout the year and into next year. And that allows you to integrate it with your management platforms as well as your own systems, so that you can actually expand the capabilities of the firewall to suit you. Now, there are two security suites that we sell. There's the basic security suite as well as the advanced security suite. We'll see a nice little representation of that in the next slide. But in there, there's all the essential things like intrusion prevention capabilities, AV scanning, and in fact, if you go for the total security suite, it includes 2 AV engines on the T40 and above. So not on the baby device, the T20, but there are other things in there like web filtering, application awareness, so you can actually filter based on the applications, allow people to go onto Facebook, maybe limit what they can do there, also to make sure they're not doing torrenting and those sort of things on your network. The total security suite includes other advanced features like sandboxing through APT blocker, as well as DNS filtering, which is critical for stopping threats like phishing. So if somebody in your network clicks on a phishing link in an email, DNS filtering is the service that's going to stop that attack. And it redirects them off to a little educational video about, sort of how to protect themselves from phishing attacks. So the Total Security Suite does include everything in the basic security suite, but it goes a lot further, and it's all about what we'll cover in the next slide. Megan, that was your cue. There we go. Sorry. In this slide, we're talking about the kill chain. So this is really what the Total Security Suite is about. It's about defense in depth. Everything from the initial reconnaissance that somebody might be doing, just having a look at your network, being able to probe that. That's all about intrusion prevention and those sort of capabilities, and also the core capabilities inside the firewall. So the packet filtering and the proxies and those capabilities. Beyond that, we're looking at how they're delivering malware into your network. So we need to stop those sort of threat vectors coming through. And we also look at the vulnerabilities that might be exploiting. So all of these services, all of them being used together, are coming in to stop this kill chain at any point in that. And this is really about that defense in depth and what we call unified threat management. And some of the other things in there are, being able to stop command and control connections to things like botnets or other malware controllers, and also being able to look at the internal network as well. So the Total Security Suite does actually include services that run on the desktop. So there's one in there called Threat Detection and Response, and that gives us correlation of events that we're seeing on the firewall with what we see in your network, as well as correlating that with information that we're gathering from around the cloud through intelligence feeds that WatchGuard provides. And that really does amplify the security and the capability of the product in terms of being able to stop those threats getting into your network and moving across your network. And finally, just things like blocking connections that people use to exfiltrate data out of a network. So now we're talking about, data breach capabilities and those sort of things. So with firewall, you can certainly configure it and make sure that you are secure right across the chain, from the initial reconnaissance right through to the actual attack and the delivery, and the fact that they're trying to steal information from your network. We'll hop on to the next slide. I don't have the button, so I can't control it. So here
I like having the power.
So here we've got a great representation of the basic security suite and the total security suite. So the basic security suite is what we were selling, say, around 8 years ago. And it includes all the core things like web filtering, antivirus, anti-spam, intrusion prevention. But it's the total security suite that is, in my mind, it's like going into a car yard. Nobody goes into a car yard looking for that 20-year-old clunker. In fact, New Zealand had a great ad about this. You go into a car yard, you're asking for that 5-star safety. And that's what the total security suite delivers. It's got all of the services in there that are designed to stop current 0-day malware attacks. Things that, just normal antivirus programs can't stop, and basic little packet filtering firewalls certainly can't stop these sort of attacks. I will highlight a couple of things on there. That Access Portal is one of our remote VPN options, and this is an SSL page hosted on the firewall. There are 4 other remote access options through the firewall, things like SSL VPNs and IPsec and IKEV2, L2TP as well. But that is now available on the T40 and above. So it's no longer restricted to our rack mount systems, and the same with Intelligent AV. We've actually brought that down the line. The firewalls are getting more powerful all the time. So with the new CPU and memory in the kit, the T40 and above includes everything that you have there. It's only the very baby firewall that no longer supports Intelligent AV or Access Portal. Next slide, thank you.
Fabulous, thanks Matt. So now moving into secure cloud Wi-Fi. So WatchGuard is built on their security knowledge. They've developed best-in-class WIP, which is your wireless intrusion prevention system. One of the key things here is that their secure Wi-Fi is different to what else is available out there in the market. It detects and prevents the 6 known Wi-Fi threats. You can add to an existing Wi-Fi network to bring that added security in without taking a rip and replace approach. Of course, we're always going to support you with a rip and replace approach to get the best Wi-Fi out there for your customers. Everything's managed from the cloud, and again, we have different security options available. So we're going to whip through to the next slide, and Matt's going to talk to the security.
Excellent. So there are 3 packages with the Wi-Fi. There is basic Wi-Fi, which we sort of don't really talk about. That's the ability to control one of our access points from a firewall directly. Secure Wi-Fi is the essential one that we sell. And this is where you can take that and do what we call a WIPS overlay. So if you have an existing wireless network, there are 6 different category of threat that you can be attacked through. With the WIPS overlay, you just simply take a small number of our smallest access point, put it in there as a security sensor, as a WIPS sensor in the network, and we can lock that down. And that's what the secure Wi-Fi is all about. If you want to go beyond that and deliver total Wi-Fi, that's where you're using our access points instead of another brand access point, deployed across a network, and you can deliver things like portals with social media integration, things like coupons as well, to try and encourage them to interact with your network and make sure that they sign up onto your guest portal, as well as being able to get all that analytics that you want in the background. So typically if you're running a shopping center or retail precinct, or even things like airports, airlines, any business where they actually want to track people and the interaction that you have, so literally any retail environment, the analytics give you that ability to see who was in the environment. Everything from footfall, that's the people walking past, right through to the point where they engage and actually sign up. And at that point, you're now interacting with your customers. So the benefit of the total Wi-Fi is that is all included in the single solution. There is no need to go for other products and integrate their capabilities into the solution. Total Wi-Fi gives you it all. One single SKU, easy to deploy.
Fantastic, thanks Matt. So now we're looking at MFA, and what I've chosen for this presentation is to focus on our bundled product called Passport. This includes AuthPoint, which is our MFA tool, DNS WatchGuard for that DNS layer, plus Panda AD 360. Now note, all of these applications are available to purchase separately, but they can be bundled together within Passport. The purpose of Passport is to allow people to authenticate, protect, and prevent. You want to keep unwanted parties out of your network and reduce the likelihood of network disruptions and data breaches. This has never been more important than with the new normal that we have, with a lot more people working from home, and it's highlighted the need for this technology. With MFA, it's really simple. Use it from a mobile phone. You've got push messages, QR codes, one-time passwords, all really simple to use. And Passport is even on special this quarter, which is fantastic. So happy to help you equip your customers with a great solution. Now just drilling in a little bit more on the endpoint security. So this is the new 4th specialisation added to the WatchGuard portfolio with the acquisition of Panda. So Panda AD360 is what is included in Passport. There are a number of other Panda solutions available separately. Those can be layered on top of Passport as well, so you're not restricted by buying Passport to not being able to add further functionality from the Panda family. So WatchGuard's Zero Trust app, everything's AI-based classification these days, automatically to 99.98%, so that's a pretty high rate. Then they have people, malware experts that are looking at that final 0.02%. They've also got analysts that are improving the machine learning algorithms all the time, so you can see how seriously WatchGuard take that security. Lots of reporting options, DNS level protection, like I mentioned, and no VPN required. So fantastic solution that has been added into the family and is bundled with various parts of the WatchGuard portfolio. So you can see how everything slots together. So I'm going to hand back to Matt now to talk about the technical enablement for getting up and running, along with the sales engineering resources that are available for the APAC region.
Absolutely. So first up, getting up and running is actually something that we do a lot of work about, making the systems as usable as possible from day one. So we are very much into using things like setup wizards, make it easy to deploy, make it easy to use right from the set-go. Now, in terms of once you're operational, there are lots of capabilities, lots of services that we provide through our partner portal. And so in technical enablement, we're looking here at the Learning Center, and this is where you can actually come along. You can either book training with WatchGuard, so we offer free training to the partners, 2-day training session, and we take you through the core of the firewall during those sessions. If you want to learn for yourself, you can go into the Learning Center and get access to either pre-recorded videos, or if you like staying awake at Seattle hours, unfortunately, they do the live training based out of Seattle, Washington, through our headquarters. You can certainly go along there and sit in on those sessions. But there are plenty of resources up there, not only those pre-recorded webinars, but there's different modules. You've got all the study guides in there as well, and all of the information available to you to actually get through the certifications. So you're effectively a one-stop shop. It's nice, lots of different capabilities and lots of different services in there. Now, if we move on to the next slide, we're looking at the sales engineering resources that we have available through the WatchGuard website. So there are two sides here. There's the partner portal, which you have access to as a partner. That's where you can get into the Learning Center. We have all our competitive intelligence data in there as well, so you can actually understand how we fit against the competitors. Also, a Wi-Fi design service. If you do want to deploy WatchGuard Wireless, we can help you with that design service through a predictive analysis, a predictive survey of the environment. The Resource Center is where you go for all the data sheets on the product, as well as technical briefs and white papers around how the technology works. Through the Support Center side of the portal, there are all the key things you need there in terms of just activating the products. As you buy them, you activate on the website. Also, how to manage the products. So you go in there, look at the inventory that you're running, and also you can actually jump out from there into the WatchGuard Cloud, which is going to be the future, where we are bringing all of these together as that single pane of glass that everyone wants. Not everything is in there yet, but we're certainly bringing more capabilities in through December. So as we move into 2021, that WatchGuard Cloud single pane of glass is going to be there waiting for you. As well as that, we have an internal knowledge base. You can actually find out information about the firewall, things that if you really want to go deep, you can search for that knowledge base. It helps you with plenty of information on configuration and support issues and those sort of things. Technical support as well, very critical. WatchGuard provides excellent technical support. That's one thing that we really stand on. So if you actually looked closely, I should have highlighted it, in the basic security suite and the total security suite, we provide 24/7 support, so 365 days a year with unlimited support cases. Now that is critical. That shows the fact that we back our products and the fact that they actually work, because we literally couldn't provide that level of support if the product were not working. Also through the support center, you've got access to training courseware as well. So if you actually do want to do the exam, it would help lead you through there. On the right-hand side there, you can see there's a link there off to, it's actually www.watchguard.com. If you type /ANZ at the end of that, it will take you through to this screen where we have pre-recorded tech masterclass webinars where you can go through and have a look at in-depth how to actually configure things like SD-WAN or how to use the various features of the firewall or some of the other products that we have. As well as that, you can actually sign up for our online training there. So that's the training that you run in the ANZ region. It's free, goes for 2 days. That's where you would go. Just go in there and register your interest, and that helps us schedule the new classes as they come up, which is pretty regular. It should be pretty much every month. And if we move to the next slide, thank you.
Fantastic, thanks Matt. And just in terms of the masterclass recordings and when the masterclasses are coming up, we're ensuring that those are going in our weekly newsletters. So do keep an eye on the events section and the promotion section, because you'll see the WatchGuard logo there very often with all that is happening. So where to from now? Are you ready to get started with WatchGuard? There's a link here and you can just actually go to the WatchGuard website and sign up to become a partner. That automatically triggers a message off to Kurt as the New Zealand Sales Territory Manager, and then he gets in touch with you to walk you through the initial sign up phase. And it's as simple as that. It's not actually that painful. Kurt then talks to you along with us at Soft Solutions around what your requirements are. What do you need from us? What do you have a specific interest in? And we work through that so we can set up sessions with Matt to get you enabled from a technical perspective, so for your technical sales engineers, or we can do a sales session with Kurt. So lots of options available to you from us and the WatchGuard team. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I really appreciate your time and the time of our WatchGuard colleagues to assist us. We are opening the floor for questions now that we can answer, and we'll bring Kurt in to be able to help with answering those questions as well. So if you do have any burning questions, please feel free to pop those through now and we'll try to answer those. The purpose, as I said at the beginning for today, was a high-level overview. There may be something that's piqued your interest and you'd like to catch up with us. You can reach out to me directly, megan@softsol.co.nz, or just email sales if you're not sure of an email address, and that will get to me and we can set something up to start you on, hopefully, your WatchGuard journey. All right, so I do have one question here for you, Kurt. Asking if there's any update on Endpoint compatibility with cloud-only Office 365. Do you have an update around that request?
Matt's probably a better one to answer that one, but the short answer is no. And just to be clear, we are very compatible with it, with Office 365. Microsoft are blocking the access into the platform. That is what the issue is. It's not the compatibility of the product. So Microsoft originally set up a almost a staging gateway that a couple of vendors have access to that they don't support. Then they pulled access off that and have told us as third-party vendors that they are developing a new one. We still do not have a clear indication on when that will be available.
Excellent, and I've got the details there that I can pass through to you, Kurt, so you can take that offline as well. Fantastic. Right, I'm not seeing any other questions coming through. We'll give it another couple of seconds in case somebody's got a burning question. We'd be happy to help you with. But as I say, we're very happy to take those offline and assist you to get up and working with WatchGuard. Right, doesn't look like we have got any other questions. So thank you to Matt and Kurt for your assistance today, and thank you to everybody that has attended. We will make this video available to you within 24 hours, and we'll also post it up onto our YouTube page. So once again, thanks for your time today. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to you starting on your WatchGuard journey.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.